My name is Jeff Zanella. I work here at Hill Holiday, and I work here in Boston on the Dunkin' Donuts account. I've been working in this industry for over 15 years now, and on Dunkin' specifically for the past 5 years. Our perspective and philosophy around data in general is that it is the new currency. We like to employ a data-first strategy, however which way we can, because we find that it influences all the decisions that we make, from media decisions around where we buy and who we buy against, but also too helping us inform our creative and our content, because understanding the consumer is central to what we're trying to get after. And from that, we can then derive our communication plan to align with that data and then give us a sense to once we're in market, how that campaign is performing, how that messaging and communication is resonating, and allow us to adjust and optimize on the fly. It's a combination of both, probably equally important to each other. There's the science and the art of it. That's sort of our core approach to anything that we do at Hill Holiday, and obviously from a media perspective, but then working collaboratively with our creative teams is to look at data, derive insights from what that is telling us, that help inform and help us unlock insights from that would inform our creative process. And content in general, it's sort of a living, breathing organism at the end of the day that we can then tell, from the perspective of what consumers are doing and how it's resonating and how they're responding, to then, adapt with that. And for that perspective, gives us opportunity to go forward and learn. So we're always constantly learning. It's this idea of this learning machine that we like to employ as across all our type of communication planning from both media and creative. Yeah, I think getting data isn't really the problem for us these days. We've never been more data rich than we ever have been. It's coming in from everywhere. Our mobile devices are telling us a lot about consumers. First-party data that we like to mine from our sales data with Dunkin' Donuts and our launch of their Perks program gives us a lot of first-party, purchase behavioral data around our core consumers. So from there, we can then start to understand and combine that information to create meaningful insights, and then from there to create a game plan in order to address those, to help inform our strategies for how we reach those people and how to be more contextually relevant using those data points to help us influence that message at that point of contact with our consumer. We have a great team of analysts as part of our analytic and measurement group that we like to work and collaborate with. They're attached to everything we do, and as an agency, we're just trying to get better at this and try to figure it out and evolve, but we know that they're core to anything that we do going forward in the future, because again, data isn't the issue. Mining that data and understanding what that data is telling us is what is critical. So analysts and scientists from a data perspective to help us understand what that data is telling us and to help humanize it, to allow us to then make communications based off of it that are going to be resonant with our consumers is critical. So that analyst sits at that sort of central point for us. We're trying to integrate them across every process that we have across the agency. Our best example of where data has unlocked a very interesting perspective for us for Dunkin' has been with the adoption of the mobile app. Out of the gate, when we designed this mobile app, which was a form of transaction, and ways for which and how, a new way for which and how consumers can transact at our restaurants using their mobile phone to pay, we thought early adopters, young tech savants, more male-centric would be the first out of the gate to then gravitate to this new form of payment. And that's what we originally targeted our media to. What we ended up finding out through the data based on usage behavior and who that demographic was of who our early adopters are and were with that app, we found that it was women 35 to 54-year-olds in our core markets. So it was a little bit of a surprise out of the gate because it wasn't that young, techno-savvy male, but it made sense because that was our core consumer. Those were our best consumers, and the app was designed to better their experiences at our Dunkin' location. So obviously they saw the value in it first, and they were the ones at the end of the day who became our first adopters and early advocates for the app itself.